Hi, it's Christy, and welcome to week 1 of English 325 Technical Writing. In this recording, I'm going to take you through the assignments that are due for week 1 and help you to understand the expectations and give you hopefully some comfort level with the assignments that are due for this week. So I'm going to share my screen, and by sharing my screen, I can take you through the week 1 assignments together. So the first thing I want to point out right here is the assignment due date / point value. This is the first place you should start. Here you will see all of the graded assignments in the first column, the point values, and the due dates. I don't list particular dates. I just say it's due midnight on this day of week 1. So you need to make sure to get a calendar and mark these dates because I don't accept late assignments. Also, these are all the graded activities. And also here are the non-graded activities, the things that you need to read, the documents or the resources that you need to access to be successful with these assignments. So I'm going to take you through the discussion forum, the self-profile assignment, and the document design assignment. The discussion forum, click on the discussion forum, you will see that I have some pretty easy discussion forum rules that you need to read through. The most important probably is that when you post your initial response, it takes 30 minutes for your response to post, and you will not be able to see your classmates' posts until after that 30 minutes is up, so please be patient. Your posts are due midnight on Wednesday. Your responses are due midnight on Thursday. Make sure to read the discussion forum prompt carefully. It has 2 parts, and please respond to both parts in the same discussion forum post. The self-profile assignment is the next assignment. This is what I call an icebreaker assignment. What that means is just kind of a fun assignment to help us get to know each other and feel more comfortable with each other as the semester progresses. This assignment also has 2 parts. Part 1 is a get to know you, where you will post something fun about yourself to the group. And in part 2, you'll read the profiles of your group members. And after you've read them, you will post a topic that says, I want to have dinner with. And then you will post the 3 people that you found most interesting. So make sure to have fun with this assignment, but also be mindful to make it interesting and try to allow your profile to stand out. It's a way that I can get to know you and your group members can get to know you. The next assignment is the assignment that deals with document design. Document design is the first part of technical communication that we're going to deal with because design is the foundation for all of the other assignments that we are going to be doing in here. So before you try to attempt this document design assignment, you absolutely must read my technical writing lecturette, which is extremely short. It's just a few little pages here of what technical communication is, my perspective. And then another must read, let me go down, is the 5 principles of design. Because in the document design assignment, you must be able to apply these 5 principles of design. That's what I'm going to be looking for to see if you've applied these in your assignment. And if you have, you're going to make a good grade. The 5 principles of design are balance, repetition, contrast, dominance, and hierarchy. And each one of these parts of the lecture gives a visual example and some information and some tips of ways to use it in a document. So what is the assignment itself? The document design assignment, in essence, this is This Word document here is a very nondescript, as you can see, plain Jane Word document. There's no fancy headers, there's no pictures, there's no colors. That's going to be your job. So your job is to take this. This was just a report I pulled off the internet, and to turn it into something that's eye-popping and catching and has visual interest. Now, I have the design assignment instructions right here. Some things that I want to point out to you. There are 2 rules. First rule, you cannot change or alter, delete, or add to the text in any way. This is not a writing assignment. This is a design assignment. Leave the text alone. Don't change the paragraphs. Don't add bullets. Don't do anything to the text. The rule number 2 is you must keep the design to 1 page. That is extremely important. You can only get half credit if it goes over 2 pages. You definitely want to study the chapter on page design, because there's several examples of very good page design in the chapter. And really pay attention to how could you design the headers. So see your level heads. How can you change the fonts, the font size, the centering of the fonts of the headers so that they are more effective and visually appealing? What about the text itself? Should you put it in columns, or how should you increase or decrease the margins? What about the design of the paragraphs themselves? What are some strengths and weaknesses there? How could you move and redesign those so that they're more effective on the page? And clearly, this document lacks color and pictures. So what would be an appropriate color for this subject matter? And remember, the audience, or the audience for this particular document is an educated professional audience. So you really want to stick to colors that would appeal to that audience. And think about the nature of the text itself. What does the text deal with? What colors would be applicable for that subject matter? Also, pictures. What pictures would be appropriate? What pictures could you add to the text that would help the reader understand the text better? So that is the assignment. It's worth 50 points, and it's due on midnight of Saturday of week 1. Most of the bigger assignments during the weeks are going to be due on midnight of Saturday, and I post new assignments on Sunday. I strongly suggest that you submit this document as a PDF. When you submit it as a PDF, it retains its original formatting. Therefore, sometimes when you submit a Word document, some of the formatting gets skewed. So you don't want that to happen and for your design to be off. So I would strongly suggest you submit it as a PDF, and I have instructions right here on how to do that. So just to sum up, in week 1, as in every week in this course, there's going to be an assignment due date and point table. There's going to be a discussion forum of some sort, and there's going to be an assignment of some sort. And then there's going to be some helpful documents, and I try to pick resources that are really useful. I don't just overload you with resources that I don't think are going to in some way help you with the assignment. This Design of the Technical Writer and the Non-Designer's Design Handbook are very good resources, and I strongly suggest you skim through those. And also, here's some slides from the chapters that you will be using for this week's assignment. If you have any questions, content-related questions, please post them in my online office, which is right here. You can also talk to your fellow students right here in the student lounge. This week's assignment is extremely important to set a baseline for all document design that will occur in this class. So every assignment that you complete from here on out has got to follow these design principles. Any report, any memo, or any instruction manual that you create, it's all going to be based on these same principles of design. So it's really important that you understand these principles and are able to apply them. You can submit to me a draft of this assignment before the due date, but it has to be submitted at least 24 hours before to give me time to give you feedback. So I hope that this week's assignments have been clearly explained. If not, like I said, post your questions to my online office and I'd be happy to answer them. Have a great week.